Do you want to increase your running mileage and intensity without getting injured? This question might seem like a runner's paradox, but it's not. It's a common concern that's shared by many, from beginners to seasoned marathoners. And the answer lies in a concept that blends science with the art of running. It's a secret sauce to running farther and faster, yet staying healthy. So, are you intrigued? Well, stay tuned as we unravel the secret to achieving this. The secret lies in a concept known as progressive overload. This might sound like something ripped straight from a science fiction novel, but trust me, it's not. Progressive overload is a principle that's as real as gravity, and it's been around for a good while now. Let's wind back the clock and take a look at the origins of this concept. Progressive overload was first introduced in the realm of strength training. The idea was simple. To stimulate muscle growth and strength, you need to continuously increase the amount of weight you're lifting. In other words, your muscles need to be progressively overloaded to grow and get stronger. Now you might be thinking, that's all good and well, but I'm a runner, not a weightlifter. How does this apply to me? Well, the concept of progressive overload is not just confined to the weight room. It's a universal principle that applies to any form of physical training, including running. Think about it this way. When you first start running, a single mile might feel like an eternity, right? But as you keep at it, your body adapts. That 1 mile becomes easier, and you can run further distances at the same effort level. This is your body's way of responding to the stress of running. It's getting stronger, more efficient. Now, if you want to keep improving your running performance, you need to keep challenging your body. And this is where progressive overload comes into play. To keep getting better, you need to gradually increase the stress on your body. This could be running longer distances, running at a faster pace, or running more frequently, but remember, the key word here is gradual. Progressive overload is not about pushing your body to its limits every single time. It's about increasing your running workload in a controlled, manageable way, giving your body the time and opportunity to adapt and grow stronger. In essence, progressive overload is about increasing your running workload gradually, so your body has time to adapt. And that, my friends, is the secret to improving your running performance. Now let's delve deeper into the principles of progressive overload. It's like building a house. You wouldn't start with the roof, would you? No, you'd lay the foundation, build the walls, and only then, you'd top it off with a roof. The principles of progressive overload are similar. They're the foundation, the walls, the roof of your training regime. First off, we have volume. Think of it as the foundation. It's the total amount of work you're doing. This could be the number of miles you're running, the number of reps you're lifting, or even the number of minutes you're dancing. The key is to gradually increase this volume over time. Don't just leap from running 3 miles to 10 in a week. Your body needs time to adjust, to strengthen, to prepare. Next up, we have intensity. This is the walls of your house. It's how hard you're working. Are you running those miles at a leisurely pace, or are you pushing your limits? Again, the trick is to increment this intensity slowly. You wouldn't want to go from a stroll in the park to a full-on sprint overnight, would you? Then there's frequency, the number of times you're working out in a given period. This is your roof. It's what completes your training house. The principle is the same. Increase it gradually. If you're used to working out twice a week, don't suddenly jump to 5 times a week. Your body needs rest. It needs time to recover. Lastly, we have time. This represents the overall duration of your workout. It might seem similar to volume, but it's more about how long you're sustaining a particular level of intensity. And, as you might have guessed, the mantra remains the same. Increase it slowly. Give your body the time to adapt. Remember, the key is gradual and consistent increases, not drastic jumps. Like building a house, you want to do it brick by brick, not all at once. And that, my friends, is the essence of progressive overload. So, how do we apply this concept to our running routine? Well, let's dive right in. Progressive overload in running is all about challenging your body gradually. You don't just wake up one morning and decide to run a marathon, right? That's like expecting to play a Beethoven sonata after one piano lesson. It's all about baby steps. Start by increasing your running distance by a small percentage each week. This could be as little as 1 to 2%. So, if you're currently running 5 miles, you could add an extra 1/10 of a mile the following week. That's less than half a lap around a standard track, but it adds up over time. But mileage isn't the only factor you can tweak. There's also intensity, which refers to how hard you're pushing yourself. This could mean increasing your speed or incorporating more hills into your route. Just remember the golden rule. Only increase one thing at a time. If you're upping your distance, keep your intensity the same, and vice versa. Now you might be thinking, this sounds great, but how do I know when to increase my mileage or intensity? Good question. Listen to your body. If you're feeling strong and energetic at the end of your run, it might be time to push a little harder, but if you're constantly tired or in pain, it's a sign you're overdoing it. Let's talk about rest. Yes, rest. It's not a dirty word in the world of progressive overload. In fact, it's essential. Your body needs time to adapt to the increased stress you're putting on it. So, make sure to include rest days in your schedule, and don't be afraid to take an easy week every now and then. And what about those days when you just don't feel like running? We all have them. But remember, consistency is key in progressive overload. So, even on those days, try to do something. Maybe it's a slow jog or even a brisk walk. The important thing is to keep moving. And lastly, keep a training log. This can be as simple as jotting down your distance, time, and how you felt during each run. Over time, this will help you see your progress and identify any patterns or issues. So let's recap. Start small. Increase distance or intensity gradually. Listen to your body. Rest is important. Stay consistent. And keep a training log. With progressive overload, you can safely increase your mileage and intensity without risking injury. And remember, it's not about being the fastest or going the furthest. It's about improving your own performance and enjoying the journey. Happy running. However, there are common misconceptions and pitfalls to avoid. Let's start with the first one, the belief that more is always better. While progressive overload does involve increasing your mileage and intensity, it isn't about pushing yourself to the brink every time. It's about gradual, systematic increases. Overdoing it can lead to injuries and burnout. Another common pitfall is inconsistency. Some runners get excited about their progress and then start skipping steps or changing their routine too often. Consistency is key in progressive overload. Stick to your plan, make small increments, and give your body time to adapt. Next, let's talk about the misconception that speed is the only measure of progress. Sure, shaving seconds off your mile time is great, but it's not the only indicator of improvement. Increased endurance, better form, reduced recovery time, these are all signs of progress too. Lastly, many runners fall into the trap of ignoring their body's signals. Remember, your body knows best. If you're feeling overly fatigued or experiencing persistent pain, it's a sign that you may be overloading too quickly. Listen to your body, adjust your training accordingly, and don't be afraid to take a rest day when needed. Avoiding these pitfalls will ensure you reap the full benefits of progressive overload. So, keep these points in mind as you lace up your running shoes and hit the track. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, or in this case, a single mile. Happy running. In conclusion, progressive overload is your best friend in your running journey. It's the guiding principle that ensures you safely increase your mileage and intensity without overworking your body. Remember, it's all about gradual increments, like adding one more lap to your usual route or a few more minutes to your daily run. We've also debunked some common misconceptions. Progressive overload isn't about pushing yourself to the brink of exhaustion. It's about challenging yourself just enough to stimulate growth and improvement without risking injuries. And let's not forget the importance of recovery. It's as integral to your running routine as the run itself. Without adequate rest, your body can't adapt to the increased workload, and that's where injuries can sneak in. Liked what you learned? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more running content. And remember, keep running, but do it progressively.